Do you want to start us off this time, Drex?
I've done all my research. I've got everything going, so I'm ready to talk about the midterm elections.
Nobody has the movie I want.
This really is the end of an era.
Look are they nice, good my boy.
People will come, Ray.
I'll be back.
But I know how to get him back.
Well, today we have Drex, our guest, with us.
I am so excited that I finally got invited to hang out in the Cool Guys Club.
Yeah.
Okay, says the Lyric Cool Kid himself. Host of the Lyric Podcast. Go watch it. Find it on
Waxing
podcast.
Lyrically.
Waxing
On
Lyrically.
Spotify. Where else?
Yes.
Is it available everywhere?
Everywhere possible that you can. I personally listen to YouTube Music because you can get, I don't know if y'all get YouTube Premium, but it also, you can do
I'm a
YouTube
Premium
Music.
guy.
And it's like Spotify. It's glitchy. But I don't know. You get all in one. And I think that's pretty cool. But I think they prefer you to listen on Podbean because they can count things better. But I don't know if y'all know, but we are also now on YouTube as far as a video podcast, and we can count the views on that one too. So
Here's what I tend to do is I put a YouTube video of a podcast on, and then I don't watch it. I just listen to it.
yeah.
Almost exclusively, that's how I watch podcasts.
And you
Because
can
with
do that.
Premium, I can click it off and still have it playing. But then if I want to watch something, then I'm in the middle of a podcast that I can just watch.
Yeah. In fact, on the app, you can toggle it back and forth. But like I told y'all, most of the time I'm door dashing. Like I don't listen to podcasts at home or watch them unless I'm just trying to fill the space.
Yeah.
You know?
Right. So today we watched No Country for Old Men, which we'll talk about in the post-show with our spoilers. But we decided that we thought, along with talking just kind of about the Coen brothers' filmography in general, that we would talk about darker movies that have stood out to us over the years that subvert expectations or sort of change tropes. And I don't know what comes up for you guys, but Taylor actually mentioned this idea, and the first thing that came into my head as soon as you said that was, I always pronounce it maybe pretentiously. I think this is how you're supposed to pronounce it, but Midsommar or Midsommar.
Midsommar. Yeah. Always go for
because some people say
pretentious
Midsummer,
way.
and I'm like, I definitely don't think that's right.
It's a little Americanized, yeah.
Yeah. Have you seen this film?
I've not.
Have you seen the film, Taylor?
I have not seen it.
Oh, wow. Have you seen it?
Yeah, I've seen it, but honestly, my attention span, almost anything I've watched since the invention of the smartphone, I don't remember a whole lot about.
You have to learn how to second screen.
Familiar.
Really,
Oh
really
yeah,
well.
yeah,
second
or
screen.
just throw your phone in the trash. I mean, there's a few shows that like I won't even think about my phone, when I watch them.
Yeah.
But that's what came to your mind when you thought about darker tones.
Well, darker tone, yes, but also the subversion of expectation. So it's classically considered a horror movie. I think most people would consider it that. I believe it's A24. And it is like bright. I mean, it's just like bright daylight the whole time. I believe I'm going to get trashed for this because I can't remember exactly where it's at, but I think it's like Switzerland or Sweden, something like that. One of the SW places.
It's definitely Sweden.
Anyway, but it's a place where it's literally because of where it's at on the Earth, like it stays like daylight for like a month or something like that, or for a couple weeks. And so for the entirety of this like festival they're having, it's just daylight. And so they fall asleep, and if they wake up in the middle of the night, like a bump in the night or whatever, it's just bright daylight when they walk outside. So it's really weird. So like everyone's asleep, and it's got this weird, almost like I hate to use this word now because it's so overused, but it's got this like liminal feel to it, where you're just like, oh, you're not supposed to be here. That's weird.
eerie.
It looks normal, but everyone else is asleep. So there's that, and then I don't want to say too much to not spoil it because it is actually a really good movie. It's one of those movies for me, like it and Passion of the Christ are the only ones I can think of, which is like
Again, with
it's
Passion
like,
of the
no,
Christ.
Listen. It's like 10 out of 10 as far as like how the movie was made, and I appreciate it, but it's like a 1 out of 10 for rewatchability. It's like really, it makes you really uncomfortable, and so it's really difficult to. I don't know that I will ever watch it again, but I still recommend it to people who like movies.
Question, in talking about movies that have that subversion of expectation, or maybe the ending is definitely not something that makes you feel good or what you see coming. Nominated for Best Picture the same year as this one was There Will Be Blood, Daniel Day-Lewis.
Yes.
Okay, I know it's like everybody's going to say they love that movie, but the ending of that, well, you would. Yeah.
I was trying to subvert some expectations.
But the ending of that one for me, but that's my question for you guys is, does that fit what you're talking about? Like, do you anticipate that? Because I always kind of held out hope that one was going to, and I don't want to ruin it, no spoilers, but is that kind of what you're talking about? Are you talking about like what Taylor was talking about only? The movie you were just talking about, if you want to.
Well, to stick with There Will Be Blood, there is that. Well, the use of music, for example.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
I mean,
or just sounds. Yeah.
Yes, the way it just builds and builds and
The
builds.
whole beginning of it, and that's the total opposite of No Country
Yeah.
for Old Men, which is basically nothing.
No music.
For what,
It's
yeah.
just the wind.
Bowls.
The wind is the music.
He used the,
So, yeah.
the singing bowls too.
I don't think I noticed that. There's no music in it at all.
No music,
Very-
no, yeah.
Which is like you're
It's
talking
like
about
birds,
with the birds.
yeah. I didn't notice it
It's-
until Grace pointed out. Clearly, I'm just very oblivious. I'm on my phone the entire time, so I don't even know who's in
Get
it.
off your phone.
But for
Lindsay.
me, I'd have to say Seven is very similar
That's what he was just talking about.
in that you expect this epic showdown that never comes. And it's a very bleak, very depressing ending, depending on how you look at it. Because and maybe I'm just weird. I have a very unique take on these particular movies. But
7 was my favorite movie for a while. I remember that came out when I was in weather school in Biloxi for the Air Force. And, you know, back then we didn't have like trailers online and you know, it was just, hey, this movie looks cool. Let's go see it. We were just blown away. It was amazing.
That's part of my Kevin Spacey paradox. Such talent,
Yeah. Yeah.
such a cancelable.
Well, it was still 30, 20 years before we knew what a PC was. I
Yeah,
guess.
that's true. That's
Yeah.
true. It could have been before he even became that. But maybe
well, also, they had done The Usual Suspects,
Yes.
which made him a big name. And so
Oh,
it's
was
kind
that
of like
one
Was
of his,
that
like,
after
first-
though? That was after.
Seven
right?
was after Usual Suspects, if I'm not mistaken.
7 was.
Yes, I'm pretty sure because the director wanted Kevin Spacey, from what I understand, because he knew that when he was brought on as the killer, people would immediately say, "Okay, something big's going to happen," because we have what was his name?
I feel like I didn't know who he was.
Okay,
So it couldn't have been after The Usual Suspects because then I knew who he was for sure.
okay.
all I know is horrible
I have
bosses.
to look it up.
It's probably knows me.
Who would have ever known how perfect he was for that?
Masterful casting in that, like in No Country for Old Men. I don't know that this story. I haven't read the book. This is one of those movies that makes me want to read the book.
Oh yeah,
I didn't know
I
until this.
wanted
I
to
started,
squeeze it in before this, but
I started looking
I
at
need
some
to.
stuff after, like in preparation for this,
Yeah.
and I realized that it was based off a book, and I never knew that.
Everybody I'm just watching interviews with the cast. Everybody's in love with every book that Cormac McCarthy ever wrote.
Mm-hmm.
Tommy Lee Jones is like good friends with him, and like all these stuff. So I'm curious. I'm like, all right. I
can
gotta
you
dive
imagine
in.
anybody but Tommy Lee
No.
Jones in that part?
He was the first hire. Yeah.
Because I read a bunch of casting what ifs and stuff. All the people that read for it or had several.
What are some of the names?
Yeah. Who else?
James Franco read for it.
For the sheriff.
No, for Llewellyn Moss. Oh, for the sheriff, I don't know. I'm sorry.
God,
I
was
couldn't
like,
find any for
whoa,
that.
that would have been
one.
different.
yeah, I think
Yeah.
Tommy Lee Jones, they actually knew going in. I was watching the Coen brothers talk to Charlie Rose 20 years ago.
It had to be him.
Yeah, because he's from, he is that West Texas kind of
Well, certainly also James Franco would have been very different
memorable in a
yeah.
different way.
as Llewellyn. I mean,
Yeah. It would have been. And what's his name?
certainly as the sheriff.
Brolin.
That was in Brokeback Mountain, Heath Ledger.
Really?
Yeah, he turned it down because of scheduling, because he had just had the daughter. The guy that played Tommy Lee Jones's assistant sheriff or whatever. He was
Garrett.
yeah,
Dillahunt.
Garrett Dillahunt.
Yes.
He read 5 times for it. Really wanted
Really?
it. Yeah.
They must have just liked him and wanted him.
If you were going to say that James Franco was going to be their choice for
Any of
Anton,
them,
I
yeah.
would have been furious if he had been cast as that.
That would have been interesting.
And
Obviously.
that one, what's his name, almost didn't do it. So they had Mark Strong on standby in case. Yeah, for What's it?
Anton.
Yeah, Anton Chigurh.
Chigurh.
Sugar. Yeah.
Yeah.
That,
Taylor,
can you
pull your
believe?
mic just a little bit closer?
If you think about the what
that
ifs,
better?
like his career would have been completely different. He's had a great career, but man, if
Yeah.
he would have played that one.
I don't remember seeing Javier Bardem in anything before No Country.
Yeah, I
for,
don't think
I mean, he was
so
the
either.
first
Yeah.
Spanish actor to win an Oscar or whatever. But like, I was blown away. And so every movie I've seen with him since then, I'm just like,
I still don't feel like I know a whole lot of movies with him, and I knew he was in like one of the Pirates sequels.
He was in the
Bond
last
movies,
Pirates
the
movie.
Oh, Bond. Yeah, I remember.
He was in
Bond in that,
Eat,
yeah.
Pray, Love.
Oh
I
yeah,
believe.
he's played some great sociopaths
He's-
or psychopaths. Yeah.
Anton Chigurh is one of my, and that's why I want to read the book too, is one of my favorite villains I've ever watched.
You're talking about Eat, Pray, Love?
Yeah. He cries in that one. It's a different kind of psychopath.
Have,
spoilers.
he's in the Cape Fear reboot on Apple TV.
Is it good?
Yeah. I watched
It's
the
a
first
series,
two
right?
episodes. Yeah, and
It's a
that's kind of
miniseries.
weird. It's a series.
I need to do
You know,
this.
it was like a perfect 2-hour trashterpiece, but I'm not sure how it's going to be over 10 hours. You know.
Yeah.
I think I think it is going to be a miniseries because they keep saying limited series, so
Yeah.
it has to be
Yeah.
a miniseries.
Who was in the original? And I've never seen the original.
Oh, that was original would go all the way back to what's it, Mitchum,
Robert Mitchum?
yeah.
Okay.
Robert
Like
Mitchum.
50s.
but
and Gregory Peck.
and Gregory Peck, yeah. But then Scorsese redid it with De Niro and Nick Nolte, and
Nolte.
Juliette Lewis was the daughter.
Love all of those. Also, my high school assistant principal looked exactly like Nick Nolte. So
That's
I'll throw that
awesome.
out there.
Nice.
If he had the voice,
Hat
he'd
tip,
be
Mr. Leach.
terrifying.
Depends on the day. That's
Yeah.
awesome. I need to watch it. Yeah, Javier is the real deal.
I was trying to think of other subversive, because
Yeah.
it's so hard not to talk about No Country already.
I know.
Taylor,
sorry.
you come up with the idea. What's another subversive dark
Dance
movie?
Monkey.
Well, I guess we talked about this a little bit, but The Usual Suspects.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
again,
Oh yeah, that totally blew me away.
that subverts expectations. You know, again, it doesn't come down to a showdown like.
Let's be careful not to spoil that one, just because it's so amazing.
You're right. But no, what
I
I'll
want
say,
people to see it if they haven't seen it.
without spoiling anything, the ending, like pretty much everybody else who's seen the movie, just blew me away. So it is a wonderful film, and I do hope we do an episode of that because it is.
I don't remember
talking
which
about.
Baldwin brother that was, but that was some fine work out of it. Yeah,
It wasn't Steven, was it?
Yeah,
I
he
think it
was
was
great.
Steven, yeah.
Was he the one in Threesome? Did y'all ever see that movie?
Oh.
I only saw it because I worked at the movie theater here in town when it came out. I wouldn't have seen it otherwise. Looking back, I don't think I would recommend it, but I thought
It's
it was
called
cool.
it's called Threesome.
Yeah. It's like, well, not to get into it, but the title kind of says it all. It's these roommates. It's two guys and a girl end up being
Starting a
roommates
podcast?
together. Yeah.
Pizza place? Yeah.
I thought we should call our podcast The Threesome, but everyone shut me down, man.
I don't know if this would be something that subverted expectations, but I remember I was on, around that time when these things came out, Seven and Pulp Fiction and whatever, but Train Spotting. I couldn't wait to see that. And it was kind of dark. And I guess it kind of subverted expectations.
I've never seen. Who's in Train Spotting? I've never seen it.
That's like Ewan McGregor's first.
Okay.
Oh, that's right. That's
yeah.
right.
Excellent. That's on
I
the
feel
list.
like, I don't know if this counts as subverting expectations, but did anyone really do the Tarantino time thing before he did? Like jumping back and forth?
Going around and stuff? No, I don't think so.
Because that's one thing I feel like I always have to have a disclaimer for people who aren't like film people that already know about Tarantino. Is like,
Yeah.
hey, you gotta kind of be ready. This is gonna be all over the place. Like, I love it. I think it's fascinating, but it's definitely very different. It's very interesting.
You're like, wait, I thought he just died. What's going on?
Yeah. All right.
Okay. Good talk.
Oh, that felt like forever. Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, that's where we watch it. We pull up a video and we watch it together.
Yeah.
No, man, I'm trying to think. Just like the Coen brothers in general, I feel like subvert my expectations with how much they can genre jump back and forth.
Yeah, really.
Like, I feel like, especially for, like, I showed this movie to my wife when we watched it this time. And her exposure to the Coen brothers is Oh Brother, Where Art Thou, Raising Arizona, and The Big Lebowski.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, forget all of those movies. It's not anything like that.
It is different. Did you guys see Hail Caesar with Clooney a couple years ago?
I did see that.
I think
Okay.
I
Was
did
that Coen
watch
Brothers?
it.
Yeah, I believe so. It's Clooney's in a few.
A lot of them. Yeah,
He's in Burn After Reading.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Also,
Burn After Reading.
And also,
yeah, you're right. The jump from different. I mean, sometimes you'll get this like goofy, kind of weird, or like a Fargo, which is like iconic.
Yeah, it's kind of like a combination
Yeah.
between them, I guess.
But this that's what I really enjoyed about No Country for Old Men. I'm sorry, we'll talk about it later. But yeah, you're absolutely right. They can go. They can just hop like, and that the Coen brothers themselves subvert expectation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like.
I'm out.
Wait, do you have something to say on that?
No,
Go for
that's,
it.
that's all I'm going to
I
contribute
like
today.
how the laughs generally come from like humanity.
Yeah.
From like human moments.
Not from just like some built
Yeah,
up.
they're not like, hey, let's put this bit in here.
Right.
No, they're just they put human moments.
Yeah.
And,
For sure.
Yeah, there's not like jokes with a punchline necessarily. And I feel that about like most Coen Brothers movies, if not just all of them, that they just have like a certain. I don't know if it's just like dry, authentic, where it's not like people are playing things up. It doesn't feel like it. Just kind of feels like people are there in their awkward form that you would find them in real life.
Yeah. I will say in Burn After Reading, I feel like there are some bits that are a little self-indulgent maybe, but
I
I,
haven't
think
seen that
for the
one, so I
most
can't
part,
speak to it.
yeah, it's but still a great movie.
I mean, I
think.
guess Raising Arizona is pretty caricature-y.
Yeah,
But that's
Junior's
also
real good
really
at his
early.
ABCs.
I so yeah, I do I like the humanity that was just talked about in every movie that I've seen that they've done. There's some character that I feel like I'm not supposed to like that I do like.
Like the Big Lebowski's landlord.
Yeah.
That's who I think.
No, but
of.
like John Turturro's terrible. What is that guy's name? The bowler.
The Jesus.
Oh yeah,
The
he's an actual pedophile. Isn't he? Yeah, I think so.
Whoa, he's not the one I'm talking about. I like, but like,
okay.
come on, guys. Jeez, Louise. One
right.
Kevin Spacey comment.
Pull yourself out. Pull yourself out.
So I think and we'll talk about this one in the second half, but there are some characters in No Country. I've got thoughts. I'll pause. Go ahead. Somebody say
Are there
something.
characters in other Coen Brothers movies?
No, and this one that we're not
Okay.
allowed to talk about until the post show.
No, Raising Arizona. No, oh brother, where art thou? Where art thou? Man, what a name! Just they do have such a unique style, and you are right. The way they subvert their own expectations is very unique. So
Yeah. Well, I was kind of throwing it away a little bit with The Big Lebowski's landlord, but I really thought of that as the example of like they have really three-dimensional characters where most people would just not. Like, I don't know if you guys remember his landlord. He had like his own show that he worked on. It was just like he was really like timid and like trying to be his buddy, but he's like also rent's due, already.
yeah,
and,
yeah.
and then he was like, also I've got my show. Are you gonna come see it? And then it's like not part of the plot at all. But
Just
then
kind
later when they're trying to figure out who stole his car, they're like at this guy's show. That's like this weird ballet one-man thing. It's very strange, but they're there supporting it, and Walter's like wearing a full suit for it. Anyway, but it's just like there's so many dimensions to even like the cop who is like abusing Lebowski at wherever they go, wherever Jackie Treehorn's thing is.
Oh,
Malibu, that's where it is. Yeah, he's like just there's so much to each one of their little characters, and I think that's what gives it so much like little humor to it. Like and to talk a little bit about No Country would be like the guy in the convenience store.
Oh,
That little guy,
yeah,
you only
yeah.
see him for like 3 seconds, and you're like, wow,
The
I
lady
feel
at
like
the
I know
hotel.
this guy. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I'm there. So
I guess you feel like I've had that conversation where it's like you're talking to somebody and they're just like deadly serious when they're looking at you. It's like they're not taking any small talk. They're not going to
yeah.
engage in anything.
Go bartend at a dive bar. You have that conversation at least once a day. Yeah, for sure. Some guy who's making you really uncomfortable, and you're like,
Do you know what the date
oh
of
yeah,
this call
yeah,
is?
dude. Building a robot sounds really fun. Or whatever they're talking about.
That needs to be a different episode, is where Drex just talks about being a bartender.
Oh
at a
yeah,
bar.
yeah.
'Cause
Bartending
I feel like
stories and stuff.
great
I
story.
that
start
would be a
having-
great idea for a
I get in the fetal position and start rocking and stuff from the flashbacks.
PTS.
Yeah. Well, I am a licensed therapist, so I'll be able to just kind of guide you through and make sure we're staying on track, not causing too much extra trauma. But
I'll
took a film
I'll get an
class.
invoice in the mail like 2 weeks later.
Probably.
anyway, yeah, I think there's a lot of me that wants to talk about the back rooms because I just saw the back rooms, but I don't think I should.
Yeah, how was
spoil
that?
I
it.
haven't seen it yet.
Well, you guys haven't seen it, but I really liked it. Taylor, what'd you think about it?
I don't know much about the lore, but I think it was a good movie. Some people I know who know the lore better keep talking about how it didn't stick to it very well. So I don't really have much to say on that score, but I felt like it was.
Isn't it a meme basically? Like it's not like a novel.
Well-
Why are they?
Essentially, I can explain it, but I also do
break
want to
it
be
down.
clear that I think it subverts expectations, so I'm not totally jumping ship for the topic. But yeah, it started as like basically a meme that was like a picture that someone took of some random office building with these yellow walls.
And it creeped everybody out. And
Yeah, well, everyone thought there was this rising tide of people talking about what's called liminal spaces, and liminal just means like
so hot right now.
transitionary.
Yeah, when you look at those huge
spaces.
apartment buildings in Japan or China,
just-
where like 30,000 people live in this one apartment building, and hallways that go on forever.
Yeah, well, so liminal's supposed to be like a place that people aren't supposed to stay, I guess. So like a house in between people moving in and out of it, a house with no furniture in it. It's a liminal space. It's like if you're here, there's this weird feeling of like,
Why?
oh, I'm not really supposed to be. This isn't where people are supposed to be. And so when a hallway is a lot like that, or like an office building with no furniture in it, or something like that. And so there was this rise of like weird eeriness, which I thought I saw this fun video essay that was like Gen Z's scared of wallpaper or whatever, but it's just this rise of discomfort. And I think I heard someone talking about how it's interesting how different like genres of horror will reflect what the generation went through culturally. And thinking of like Gen Z, their big thing being COVID, and like they went through all this time of isolation and being by themselves, so their horror starts to kind of focus all on isolation and being in places where nobody else is at.
Question.
Yeah, go
Question
ahead.
about the lore. Is it related at all to the mall dream phenomenon that so many people, you know what I'm talking about?
Well, that goes along, yeah, I think with like the liminal space thing in general. So the Backrooms is almost like this giant lore shrine to liminal spaces, which is that there's this idea not an idea, there's a phenomenon in video games where like if you build a map, like it's supposed to be that you think of this as the world that you're in. So imagine you're in the middle of, you're playing Modern Warfare and you're in the middle of a city or something. But when people are building the map, they might have stuff that they kind of leave outside, or like rooms that they didn't finish. And they like just cut it off with like an invisible barrier so you can't get to that place. But sometimes there's like places where you can like glitch out of the map or like slip through the invisible barrier, and you end up like behind the map where you can't get back in, and you're in this weird place that no one else is at. So that's the idea of the Backrooms, is that the way they came up with it is like in real life, if you slipped through like the invisible barrier, or what they call no clipping, into like behind everything, you'd end up in this place called the Backrooms. And there's all these different levels, and the first level is that one that is like become super iconic with the yellow walls, but like it just goes on forever and the geometry doesn't make any sense, and once you go a level deeper it looks completely different, and there's all these different levels and different like creatures or monsters that exist. And that's what the lore is about.
The yellow rooms, I must admit, made me very, not exactly sick, but it was a nauseating feeling because just the yellow everywhere. I'm not I'm not overly fond of the color yellow, so
It's not like in your face terror. It's just like
Right.
it's like I wouldn't love to be in an office
this-
building like that for a
No.
long time. And it's like,
No.
oh, imagine being trapped in an endless maze of this like just
Yeah, it sounds
mediocreness.
hideous.
right.
Yeah.
That's a good one. to take.
I have no desire to see it, but I love the idea of it. That they came up with this. It costed nothing. Was that the director's like 20, and it's
He was
hugely
17 when they signed him
successful.
on, yeah.
Amazing.
And people are like, people have been talking on the podcast I listen to about what's happened with the movie business. Hollywood's over, this and that, and here we are. We're back, and I just think it's cool.
Well, I
and
didn't realize because I saw that about the Backrooms that Obsession is also made by a YouTuber.
Yeah, I read about Obsession, and there was this guy. I've seen him on quite a few reels on Facebook, but I read somewhere it was the art director was complaining that she only got $6,000 out of it total, but the movie has made like 250 million worldwide, and she's complaining that she didn't get a bonus or whatever. And it's like, hey man, that's what you signed on for, and that's a good way to get started. And I bet you now on the next big movie he makes, you're the last person he's going to call for help.
True.
Yeah.
Obsession was a good movie as well.
I really want to see Obsession. The lead actress, is she like a Twitch streamer or something, I think? Or
That's what I heard is that a lot of the actors in it were like not.
That's really cool too.
Not just professional actors, but
it's a medium jump that I think is a new thing. Like this is the year of that, I guess.
They did a good job. The two main characters did a wonderful job, and the young lady you're talking about did a phenomenal job, in my opinion, because she was able to play this woman. I'm not going to ruin anything for you, but she just did a wonderful job playing this woman in this position. So it was just a great movie.
Well,
Yeah.
even SNL is getting new cast members
Yes.
off of social media and
Yeah.
stuff. It's a new,
That's so interesting.
It doesn't have to. You can make it almost any way. You don't have to follow all these steps of
Can you imagine being Jim Carrey, not getting on SNL, and thinking of Instagram stars getting on SNL?
or
I mean, he was on.
Not being
In
because he
Living Color,
auditioned for a main. Part
What was
to
the
get to do
show?
it.
The sketch
Living
comedy
Color.
in Living Color.
Yeah.
I mean,
He was on like an SNL equivalent.
Right.
Yeah.
Fire Marshal Bill. Oh, wait just a second there.
I wonder if that's a good point. I always look at people who maybe didn't go to SNL and then their career has just blown up.
Shane Gillis.
Shane Gillis. I don't think he would be half as famous if he had been on
Oh
SNL.
no, because you're kind of stuck.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, no disrespect, Kenan Thompson, love Kenan. I was a '90s kid. Kenan was it. Like heavyweights. Was it Mighty
Yeah.
Ducks? Was he in Mighty Ducks?
I think it wouldn't be right if he left now.
Yeah,
But could he
he's a-
branch out? Like, could he go get his own movie?
I don't know. Surely he's had the opportunity. Jimmy
He'd
Fallon
be
made
great. He's
Taxi.
awesome. He's like the glue guy. Yeah.
I'm not saying no shade to people on SNL. I think what they do is amazing.
Yeah.
Especially, I've
I'll
done no
always
improv.
love
You know improv, so you know how impressive
bit,
it must
yeah.
be. But like, I see people like Jim Carrey, and I'm like, I don't know that Jim Carrey would have ended up.
Yeah, he had a lot more freedom. Not
The
being a
90s
part of
were-
that, yeah.
Man, Jim Carrey put numbers on the board for 2 decades.
No, yeah. I just think it's funny thinking about someone who's so accomplished
Yeah.
that could even look at that. Like, I almost feel like that would be me if I were in Jim Carrey's position. It would always be that little thing that I didn't get that bugged me and seeing like, this freaking Instagram real star made it on SNL and I didn't make it on SNL.
I feel like the money he's made over the years is compensating.
He's the
for
Maybe
that.
better-
well, he has gone through like a whole spiritual like renewal and he doesn't,
Yeah, he's like painting now. And
Really?
stuff.
He's a
Yeah.
totally different guy, so he
Yeah.
I
probably
didn't know
isn't
that.
bothered by it. But
I did not know that at all.
oh yeah, he's like one with the universe. He woke up. He's transitioned beyond us.
Like what's
Yeah.
what's his name? Russell. What's his name? Russell.
Brand.
Oh, Russell Brand. is
Yeah,
that-
Russell Brand.
Yeah.
He's awakened or whatever you
Oh, he's
call
like
it.
awakened.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's awakened.
he's something.
something
That's for
something
sure.
beyond
Something
us.
happened.
Anyway, but yeah, I think it's. And then there was the other YouTuber Markiplier who made Iron Lung, which was another horror.
Oh,
movie.
yes.
a bunch of YouTubers making
Also
horror
a cool
movies
story.
right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just interesting to think where film is going. That's a subversion of expectations.
Hey.
Because-
Oh yeah.
just want to put a little
callback.
bow on that.
So
No.
you're getting somewhere with that.
Yeah. But because like 10 years ago, that would have been such a joke if you tried to pitch a movie and you're like, here's all the movies I've done on YouTube. And they're like, those aren't movies. Okay.
Yeah.
It
But
gives,
now they're being taken more seriously.
it gives me hope because I feel like Hollywood got bought up by streaming services and, foreign influence and all money and all these things. Because everything's about money. I get it. It's always been about money. But like the fact that sort of independent filmmakers can succeed and sell ideas is huge. And that sounds
on
like
their
I think
own.
the big
Yeah.
companies are pretty quickly learning that they're going to have to evolve or die because it's becoming so much more possible to make indie film. Like there was a I think there's been 2 now that were like crowdfunded like Spider-Man fan films, which is like
Really?
they can't make any money off of that because
'Cause
it's
of
copyrighted.
rights, yeah.
But they're just making it for the love of the game, and you're seeing these like teenagers and stuff that are making CGI like Spider-Man swinging scenes that look like almost as good as what you're seeing in the MCU, and you're like, that's crazy.
It's crazy.
How possible it's becoming for people to
That's-
make film
that's
without
making-
having to
Yeah.
bow down to the man. Or
It's
whatever.
making some executives super mad.
Oh yeah.
And then 5 or 10 years, they're going to make their cheesy version of whatever all this is.
Yeah, that's like the early 2000s or whatever when they were trying to imitate all the indie movies with like Dan in Real Life and
Juno.
yeah.
Which one?
They were big budget
Juno was
Hollywood movies
nominated.
that were trying to look like indie films.
Or even before that, all the Tarantino ripoffs.
What almost makes me think of what George Lucas did with Star Wars, because he had no big studio behind him at the time, and I'm not entirely sure how he got. I believe his name was Alan Ladd Jr. was the producer who helped fund Star Wars.
Well, it
But
was because of American Graffiti, right? He did
Yes.
American Graffiti
Yes, he
first,
did.
and then the
Well,
studio.
One for me,
started
one
the
for
first-
you.
yeah.
Or one
Well,
for
no,
you.
he had just finished American Graffiti, and Alan Ladd Jr. agreed to do the film. It wasn't official, but he vocally, he basically told him he could do it. And then when American Graffiti came out, he realized, okay, this guy is obviously a talented director. But the point I was getting at was George Lucas subverted expectations because at the time everything was so gritty and realistic in Hollywood, and then they jump into this massive space adventure.
Sci-fi.
So sci-fi really took off with that.
For
so
sure.
Yeah.
I'm the only thing about maybe the things you're talking about, the fan picks and stuff like that, is that probably I would guess they're having to use AI for some of the special effects, and I'm not a fan. As someone who likes to perform, and I know that sounds so stupid to say, but I really don't like. I don't like what AI is gonna do.
I could do 10 podcasts about
You could.
AI, but
You should.
I think, yeah. Well, I don't think for the specific ones I was talking about, like the Spider-Man ones, I think
Okay.
that was before
Gotcha.
the rise of AI, or at least generative AI specifically.
Okay.
It's so complicated. It's really hard because like I don't want to use generative AI, but then I'll be doing something just in Photoshop, and there's certain tools that use AI.
Yeah.
Or even
Then I'm like,
Googling
it's-
stuff.
Yes.
Sometimes you don't even know when you're using it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so integrated into everything.
Yeah.
It becomes difficult, but yeah, for like anybody, it's hard because, like you said, there's so much that's about money, and it's hard for a studio to justify why would we do this
Yeah.
when we could use AI to
For
do
sure.
it so much cheaper. And I don't really have an answer for that other than it's because it's soulless, and that's not
I
that's
hope
not a
it-
tangible answer.
I hope it places value on live performance.
Yeah,
you
that
know,
would
and
be
then makes theater more popular.
For sure.
But maybe AI wrote the script, but at least those are actual actors in front of you.
I will say, I think there's this funny new phenomenon that's starting with like, and I've heard like novel writers are apparently talking about it, where they now have this pressure when they're writing to intentionally try to make their art or their writing not sound like AI.
Interesting.
Which is this weird thing. Like, I'm not using AI, but now everyone is so quick
Yeah.
to see something that doesn't look right or looks too good to be true to just immediately judge it as AI. So now it's like I have to somehow prove that it's not AI just in the way that
I
I'm
think
writing.
you can really tell with the videos.
Oh,
They all kind of sound like the Outdoor Boys guy. I don't know if y'all are aware of that. It's the guy who make YouTube videos where he's camping in extreme cold and whatever.
Oh yeah,
and
I know who you're talking about.
he's always like almost like it's too excited to eat. It's almost kind of
You're one of my fellow YouTube rabbit hole guys.
a little bit, yeah, I guess so. But I just remembering him because how excited he would get to eat. I just thought it was kind of weird, I guess.
I feel that.
Yeah. It's like, all right, dude, calm down.
Well, cool. Well, again, we're going to be talking about No Country for Old Men on the post show. You can go to on cinemaniacs.org. The first part of this is available everywhere, but cinemaniacs.org is the only place to check out our spoiler
Represent.
review of, yes, Death to Digital and
This
streaming.
is,
and
I
we could
gotta
just go
say, this
AI
is a
along with
really
it.
comfy T-shirt. Sorry to step
No, you're
on your
good. Plug
train
it.
of thought there. It's a really nice, comfy T-shirt. I should have worn it with different shorts. I feel like I'm wearing a uniform right now, but
Just like a jumpsuit.
yeah, it's all one piece
Rumper.
actually. Yeah,
Rumpum.
We've got the Cinemaniacs onesie available on there.
Don't tease me.
No, yeah. So to bank on that, yeah, that helps to fund our video store, our video rental store, popcorn shop that we're trying to have, as well as becoming a member and supporting the post show as well. But yeah, the Death to Digital is our mantra, which my wife, who's an artist, we're working on more merch that we can also have with that mantra, because it kind of goes again with what we were talking about, like not letting the streaming services and the big corporate overlords determine what kind of art we get to see and
Right.
and don't get to see, or especially with AI coming in now and getting to like edit things that we've known forever, but nobody has a physical copy of the original, so
Slap.
it's gone.
yeah. Well, I'm just okay. So is the whole the physical media resurgence? Is that about what happens if? Well, what happens if like the streamer goes down, or if it gets bounced around, or whatever? Is that it? Because then it's like, okay, let's say the apocalypse happens and we don't have the streamers. Well, man, are you going to carry that bookshelf on your back through the dystopian wasteland?
Hey, listen, they have these little the booklets that you can put all the discs in.
Oh,
That
yeah,
makes it
yeah.
really, really.
Old school. Yeah.
Okay, well, everything
Or CDs.
definitely is not going to be permanently
it's-
Yeah.
permanent, but there's a continual effort to, like, what people are rescanning all of the old films and making the 4K releases of 50,
You
60,
want something that you
70-year-old
hold in your
films.
hand. I get that. I also miss, I think Taylor had said it, the conversations at the video store.
Yeah.
Yes. But no, if the apocalypse happens, I think I'd have more important things to think about
Yeah,
than
yeah.
one movie I'm going to
Yeah.
watch.
Yeah, maybe throw this out if the apocalypse happens. But barring the apocalypse, I think, I think it's just, that there are so many films that can just disappear out of existence. Like Dogma had that for a minute. Luckily, they did bring it back, but 28 Days Later was like that for a while. And enough people uproared about it that those particular ones came back. But there's tons of more obscure cult classics that just fall by the wayside because not enough people make a big deal about it that show
Pump
that they'll
up the
pay their
volume.
money. And so studios are like, why am I paying so much for the rights to this film that 100 people are maybe paying us for or renting every now and again? And so then it just kind of gets wiped from existence because it doesn't have a physical copy or the physical copies are out of production.
So we need a data center.
Yeah,
kidding.
Yeah,
we
yeah.
need more data centers.
if
Okay,
AI can just
okay.
recreate all the films that we lose to history. But
That'd be great.
but yeah. So absolutely.
Good
All right.
talk.
We'll see you in the post show. I'm trying to figure out how do we subvert expectations for you in this podcast?